Hey everybody, so today we're going to be making one of my favorite desserts, sticky toffee pudding. It's really easy to put together and it always impresses. It's just so delicious, and then when you drizzle that butterscotch sauce over top, so you're going to need a pot, and you're going to combine your 180 grams of chopped up dates. Preferably use Majdoul dates, but any date should be fine. And then add your 310 milliliters of water to the pot. And then you're going to place that over high heat until it comes to a boil. So while your dates are coming to a boil, you should preheat your oven to 355 degrees. Dish is traditionally made in ramekins. So if you have ramekins, you'll need 6 of them, and you'll need to grease them really, really well. You do not want your sticky toffee pudding sticking to your ramekin, not being able to get it out. I don't have ramekins, so I'm using my trusty cupcake tins again. So I've greased those, and they're ready to go. If you don't have either of those, feel free to bake it in a loaf pan. You'll just have to increase the cooking time a bit. So once your mixture comes to a boil, it'll take about less than 5 minutes. It should look like this. You'll notice the dates have already started to break down. But to help it along, we're gonna add half a teaspoon of baking soda, and that will help it break down even more. So just give it a gentle stir. It'll foam up a little bit, and that's okay. So that will help the dates break down some more. Make it nice and soft. We're going to set it aside for now, but give it a stir from time to time. We want it to cool down while we do the next step, which is to cream our butter and sugar together. So if you have a stand mixer, grab the bowl of your stand mixer, add the 60 grams of butter, and then add the 3/4 cup of brown sugar, which is 165 grams. And then using your paddle attachment, we're gonna beat that until smooth and fluffy. So once our butter and sugar are incorporated, we're gonna add our eggs one at a time. Your eggs should be at room temperature so that it easily incorporates into the batter. Once the eggs are incorporated, you should have a batter that's light and fluffy, light in color, and also light in texture. So we can add a little bit of vanilla at this point. And then once your date mixture has cooled down, you can add it and mix it in. So now that date mixture has cooled down, most of the dates should have broken down. There might still be some chunks here and there, and for me that's fine. I like a little bit of texture in my pudding. But if you don't like it, you feel free to puree it. You can use a immersion blender or put it in a blender and puree it. But I think it's fine as is. So as soon as it's cool, just add it to your butter, sugar, and egg mixture. So let the mixer do its thing. Mix it on low until everything is incorporated. The mixture will be quite liquidy, and that's okay. We're gonna add our 150 grams of self-raising flour that you've sifted. If you don't have self-raising flour, which I didn't, so I combined 1 cup of self-raising flour with 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and half a teaspoon of salt. So I'm gonna add that, and you're gonna gently fold it in. So your batter should be looking like this. Still kind of loose, but a batter. We're gonna fill our molds, or whatever you're using, whether ramekins, a loaf pan, or a cupcake pan like me, 2/3 of the way full. They will rise quite a bit, so you wanna give them room to rise. So I slightly overfilled mine, but I wanted to get all of the batter in there. So if you're gonna do a cupcake tin, you will use the whole tray. I thought it would be less, but here we are. So if you're using ramekins, you can place them on another baking dish, something with a look like at least 2 inches in height, because you'll want to pour water up to like 2/3 up the way up the ramekins, if that makes sense. Okay, so I've placed it on a larger tray, and after I put it in the oven, I'm gonna pour water up to 2/3 of the way. Once you're ready to bake it, you're gonna place it in a preheated oven at 355 degrees and bake it for 40 minutes or until you stick a toothpick in the middle and it comes out fairly clean. So while our puddings are in the oven baking, we're gonna make our butterscotch sauce. It's really simple. You're gonna combine the brown sugar. It's about a cup of brown sugar, or 220 grams. A cup of heavy cream. And 50 grams of butter, which is about a 1/4 cup of butter. And then you're also gonna add a little bit of vanilla, about a teaspoon. And then you're gonna put it on low heat until it all melts, and then raise the heat to like medium high until it like comes to a boil.